Hey everybody, Jeff at McStartup, McStartup.com. Some of you have probably seen in the past that I posted a lesson a number of years back on YouTube on how to pitch an investor for investment capital. And because of that, even though it's been languishing there for a couple of years, I've had many requests to answer questions outside of my usual blog format, which I don't keep up that well with anyway. But nevertheless, I decided to give it a whirl and do some things with audio and video and however people would like to get advice for for their startup companies. So without further ado, let me get to the question that we're going to answer today. The question comes in from Krista, and it's a question that I've seen a number of times, and it's really a question that's around a couple of definitions of share types, right? So she writes that in her articles of incorporation, when she started her business, there were 10,000 authorized shares, and at the time she started the company, she issued 1,000 of those shares to herself. And now business has progressed, and she's looking to bring a partner in and wants that partner to get 5% of the company. So her question is, how many shares does she give the new partner? Is it based on the 10,000? Is it based on the 1,000? Is it based on some other magic number? And the answer is it's going to be based on the 1,000 plus whatever you give that new person. And what we're dealing with here is something called outstanding shares. So there's an authorized number, which is the total number of shares that a board of directors, board of managers is authorized to issue without going back to the shareholders or conducting some other kind of vote, depending on how your articles of incorporation work. Generally speaking, if you're a private company, small company, venture-backed company, the authorized number of shares is not something you normally worry with at all. What you are worried about is the outstanding shares, and the outstanding shares is always going to be less than or equal to the authorized shares. So in this case, Krista has 1,000 outstanding shares before bringing in the new partner. I'm assuming that there's no other shares issued. And so the new partner needs to get 5%. And so whatever number of shares you give the new partner plus the 1,000 shares is going to be your new total outstanding shares. And then the new partner needs 5% of that. So in this case, the new partner is going to get 53 shares. That's going to bring the total number of outstanding shares to 1,053. Krista's 1,000 plus the 53 new shares. And the math works out. The new person has 5% of the organization, and Krista would have 95%. So it's as simple as that. The authorized shares often confuses people because it is there in the articles of incorporation. But that is really, again, something that's used to prevent the board of directors basically from issuing 10 bazillion shares without needing to go through some other process of governance, like a shareholder vote, etc. Again, you're probably not going to worry about that at all. On a day-to-day basis, you're thinking about handing out equity, stock options, stock, whatever it is. It's the number of outstanding shares you're going to be worried with. So, simple as that. If you guys have any other questions, please visit me at McStartup.com. I do monitor YouTube and other channels for questions that sometimes come through the comments. But the best way to make sure I see something is to fill out the question form at McStartup.com. And while you're there, you might check out, there is a book, online book, which I wrote a couple, maybe a year or so ago, called The 8-Slide Investor Pitch. It's really an updated version of what I posted on YouTube and goes into quite a bit more detail. It's about 80 or 100 pages long. It is an investor pitch format that I have used a number of times across several companies myself, and I know I've had success with it, and others have written and said they've had success with it as well. It's $10. I've been told there's a few typos in it, but, hey, I guess you get what you pay for, $10. Hopefully, it does you some good. So again, visit me, McStartup.com. If you have questions, I am happy to answer them. And if this format works for answering people's questions, we'll do more of them. All right, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon.